First we went to Lambayeque to be able to visit the Bruning Museum, and as we can see here, we were arriving to the Bruning Museum. Here we were already in the Bruning Museum with all the girls, and Patty was filming.
Here's Damaris. Hi. Here's.
Hi.
What's your name, please?
My name is Shibuya.
What's your name?
My name is Rosa.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Mariana.
Okay.
We were walking along the way to get into the museum, and here the girls again. As we were walking, we could see a award of recognition of the Lambayeques municipality to the museum for the 100 years of anniversary, and next to it we can see a statue representative of the culture. Before to enter to the museum, we had to buy the tickets, and a person was showing us the different prices. Okay, but now before tells you a quick description of the museum that we are now going to see.
The Bruning National Archaeological Museum is a Peruvian museum created on July 10, 1921 by Hans Heinrich Bruning, and it's located in the city of Lambayeque.
Okay, and what are going to see is the representation of the Lambayeque culture. So,
here we were ready to enter to the museum, and we had already bought the tickets, and with the university card of the UCB, just for being students, we only paid 3 soles. Also, here next to the ticket office, you can find souvenirs to take away as a nice gift of your visit. You can see the different types of gifts that the museum offers. First, the guide gave us a short description of the museum and gave us some indications as we are going to hear.
Ustedes pueden tomar fotos, filmar, solo traten que no haya flash por temas de la conservación. Desean de pronto llevar información de primera mano que les permita comprender mucho mejor el museo. Esto pueden solicitar el servicio de guía, el museo se los va a facilitar para que pues, reciban información, para que sepan a detalle todo lo que hay aquí. Así que si gustan solamente nos pasan la voz y una persona los asiste para que les explique todo lo que tiene que ver aquí en el museo. Okay?
Here we are on the first floor of the museum, and in the first section, as we can see, there is another commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the museum. We can also see a small statue of the image of the founder. And I tell you that in this first room, the important archaeological and historical legacy of Hans Heinrich Bruning is exhibited throughout his 50 years of research. These photographs were taken by the German researcher who dedicated himself to develop an extraordinary work in defense of our cultural heritage. The tour of the first section ends here, and now we are going to enter to the second section of the first floor, and we can see the crafts. These crafts were handmade by Chota artisans. Between the different types of crafts, we can see ponchos, saddlebags, blankets, and bedspreads. Walking a little more, we can see the image of the German founder Hans Bruning, and here we are in the third section of the first floor. We can see the ceramics through the time. We can see the different types of ceramics representative of each culture
the Inca, Chimú, Lambayeque, Huari, Mochica, and Cupisnique cultures. Now we enter to the representative section of the Mochica culture. Like we can see, this was their territory. We also found the faces of the Mochica ceramics, as we could view in the video. And well, this was all from the first floor of the Bruning Museum.
Now let's go to the early cultures room of the second floor. We have to walk very careful so as not to fall through the wet floor. Mariana was a little nervous about sleeping, but she made it. Then I noticed that the map where you can see the nearest places in Chiclayo, where the Mochica culture was located, was premium to see where their respective points to locate. Mariana was appreciating the Mochica workers, but the first thing that got my attention was the glittering gold, jewelry and trinkets, and it is little man here. Let me tell you about this room. In this part of the Bruning Museum, the remains of the early cultures of this region are exhibited. The exhibitions consist of a burial found in the Morro of Eden, a ceremonial temple located in Tima, the labyrinths El Buenaglia Tejutun, amongst others, also show the findings that reflect the development of the Mexica culture, the Lambayeque culture, and the setting of the Cuban murals. They are like the gold nickels they were at the time, and I wanted to try it on. And also told me that solari was a type of quartz that they used to use a lot, which was very interesting. Then we saw the huacos that represent pottery, coal meeting, handicraft, which is a valuable documentation of the pre-Columbian past. There were many figures of people and animals too. We also noticed that there was a great variety of jewelry, and I was amazed by the Lambayeque earmuffs made of gold. They were very varied and have a very unusual size. The nickels were the most in here. An interesting fact about these nickels, as some were found in the same grade of the Lord of Sipan. And speaking of size, there were these little figures representing the villagers, which were tiny. So tiny, look at that. There's also a large mural here with the reasons for the collapse of Mexico. This tells you about the instability suffered due to factors such as the environment, the influence of the West society, the Cajamarca styles, and obviously the internal crisis, mainly about their ideological and political structure. Here the Damaris spent approximately 10 minutes observing the mummy to see if it was real or not. I told her it was too surreal to be able to see something that once had a life that belonged to our Lambayeque past. By the way, this was a woman in good condition from the years 900 to 1,000,000 before Christ. They also had lawyers specially made for royalty, such as the Incas, and represented their social status in that era. All of course made of gold. This was like a jewelry covers all the mouth of the man. And his Rosita, who was fascinated with all the gold jewelry that was here, because she loves jewelry, bracelets, and that things.
I am happy.
You're happy. It's the first time in the museum?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Discos nuevos ahora, ¿verdad?
Will you recommend it to come here to your friends or to family?
Yes, because it's a great experience and they are going to have a good time.
Oh,
No, the rest.
Well, we are now in the third floor technology room. In this area, we can see objects from the Chimo and Inca cultures. As we can see, there are different types of mollusks and they are very beautiful. After this, you can see the technology applied to the elaboration of
There are different works made with mollusks, wood, bone, musical instrument, and representation of fruit. Exhibition that concluded with the representation of diorama of Master Wheeler. There are some necklaces made with shark's fangs. Look, they are very beautiful. As you can see, there are also necklaces made with colored beads. Beads made with colored beads like necklaces reproduction of the loom. We can find a little of the Timuan Inca cultures that are representative of the region, highlighting objects from the cultures. They all have unique and very peculiar shape. Oh, an engraving instrument. Well, now it's time to go to the fourth.
This is where we are going. I think that floor. Yes, it is. My goodness, I never cease to be surprised. Beautiful antiques, like cities. Oh. Oh my god. Mira. This hair was found next to the priestess, were very valuable. He was interfound with 8 other characters, so it was confirmed that this was a woman buried with the highest honors. I like.
Oh my god. What I think?
Yeah.
I don't know. On the floor. Collecting these things. I think it's important for them.
Here we can find the remains of the woman with the highest hierarchy within this culture that ruled the north between the 12th and 13th centuries. The Shonen Camp priestess, the tomb of the priestess was found in October 2011 in Huaca Shonen Camp Lambayeque. In it, a lavest trousseau was found consisting of ear flaps, spondylus, shells, and heels. She would be a sovereign or queen of the time that depicts feminine power in the Lambayeque culture. These are certainly something to admire. I had a wonderful experience, and I think my colleagues did the same. I suppose. I love seeing so much wonder here, and I hope to return one day.
Okay, guys, now we are in Pimentel. This is like the park or the city square. It is small but nice. I'm sure there is much more to explore. Let's go to the beach. And we arrive. The weather is quite cloudy, but it feels good. On this side is the dock, and these are the prices to enter. There are many places to see on the beach, but the ones that caught our attention the most were the craft stalls. Here we are in a stall of things made with marine animals. These people had been selling these marine accessories for years. We finished this adventure very happy and we hope to return soon. We leave you with this beautiful sunset.